to another Parts Factory installation tutorial video. Today we're going to be chucking a fuel pump into a Nissan Tiida. This is any Tiidas between the years 2004 and 2012. I think the Tiida beyond that was discontinued. There is two types. I recommend visually comparing our pump via our photo to your pump. Just by having a look underneath the seat, you'll actually be able to see a significant difference, and they're non-compatible between each other, so it's an absolute necessity to check that first. Alright, this is a pretty straightforward procedure. All you actually need is a Phillips head screwdriver, a large flat blade screwdriver, and a hammer. We'll pop the cap up, knock the ring off, unplug the plug, disconnect the fuel line in a safe and the proper method, and we will pull the fuel pump up through the top, take the new one out of the box, place it back in, do the ring up, put the cover back on, start your car, off you go. Let's get into it. Alright, so the cover we're actually going to be pulling off first is just this one here. There's a piece of wire that goes through. I recommend disconnecting your battery before we begin this process, just to avoid any sparks to ignite any petrol. Now, first things first is actually to remove this seat here. Now, the seat's actually only held in by pressure clips. Oh, excuse my beautiful nails. My girlfriend did them up for me last night. Yeah, this seat is actually held in by two clips, so you actually just grab onto the seat here and pull up, and that seat will pop out just like that. Get it as far away out of the way as possible to avoid any distractions. Right, let's get started. First things first, grab your trusty Phillips head screwdriver and twist these plastic tabs. Now, you may struggle to twist them. They'll actually cross-thread the nut or cross-thread the thread on the top of the screw, as they are just plastic. Now, they do spin clockwise. Sometimes you actually just grab a flathead and just tap it around. 1, 2, there's the Phillips head, see if it'll work. 3, and that's exposed there. Chuck your rubber grommet through the hole, move your plastic, your metal lid out of the way. Next step is to push down on this plug here, and then just chuck your screwdriver in here like this, and give it a twist. You notice that plug will pop out of the way. I recommend moving all that out of the way, and even putting your seatbelt on top of it. Now, the next step is to actually remove your fuel line. In order to do that, just push in on the little white tag on each side. Most of the time you can use your fingers. And yeah, you may lose a little bit of petrol. Tuck that out of the way. Then all you do, see this plastic ring here? All you're actually doing is going to give it a nice smack around. You can see it rotating there. You see that? Once it gets loose enough, you'll be able to finish it by hand. Alrighty, remove your cap out of the way. Fuel line's bugging me. You should be able to pull your fuel pump out of the tank. You see that? Now just be careful, there will be a little bit of fuel still remaining in the pump. Don't be afraid to get petrol on your hands, just make sure you wash up after it. Alrighty, the next step is now to make sure that the fuel pump you've received from us at Parts Factory Australia is the same. Let's rip her open. And there it is there. Now, as you can see, there are a few differences between the two, but don't be worried about this. It's just simply the way they are designed. Remove your rubber band off, set your level up, fuel level sender, and all that happens here is this piece will slide into this section here, I'm sure. Here it is here. There we go there. Now don't forget to swap over your rubber grommet from your old fuel pump to your new one. Just pull it off like that and place it back over the same way. Okay, and we'll put our fuel sender unit back in. Then grab your ring over the top and tighten it down. Go in reverse for a sec just to get the thread, and then go clockwise to tighten. Be careful not to snap off your fuel nipple as you turn, and do any remaining tightening with a hammer. There we are. Chuck your fuel line back on. Electrical harness plug back on. Should hear a click, and then we want to then test to see if the car will start. Wonderful. Okay, now that you've made sure that the car starts after you've put the fuel line back on and the fuel connector back on, it's then time to put it all back together as clean and as tidy as possible. Make sure all the wiring's in the right spot, fuel line's not exposed to any areas where it could get worn by vibrations. Put the seat back on, put the seat belts back through the seat, and you're all done. So I'm going to do it and I'll speed it up for you so you can see how it all happens. Let's get into it. Right guys, so the fuel pump's all done, the car's running. Now I didn't have time to put the seat back together properly because my camera is on 3%, so I'm trying to rush to get this one finished. Now if you are interested in this product, you can check it out on our website at www.partsfactoryoz.com.au. I think they're about $138.30 and they're about $400 genuine, so it's definitely worth your time to jump on there and have a quick look at what we've got to offer. Alrighty guys, I'll see you next time.